Yo, sound test 1 2. Sound test 1 2. You probably hear some background noise going on right now. I believe this mic is pretty good at isolating my voice, but it's because I have two of my printers printing very long prints that last over 24 hours. So I don't want to mess them up. So, I mean, if the sound is really a problem, let me know. I can stop them, or I can pause them and roll the dice. But I think it'll be okay. I've had printers running in the past when I've done live streams, and when I listen back to it, it's not too bad. So I'm hoping that is the case now, but let me know how the sound is. Happy Sunday evening. Open up a Cayman Jack. I just looked on my my channel content listing, and I noticed that my last live stream was June 11th, a full month and a half ago. I've been busy. Wait a second, why? I see. I see Dale's comment on YouTube. I don't see it on StreamYard. Why is that? Interesting. Huh. That's weird. Let me go back. Okay. I just refreshed the comments page, and it's back in StreamYard, so I'll keep an eye on it. So yeah, okay, good. I'm glad the sound is good, because if you were in this room right now, you'd be very surprised that you're not really picking up the printers. I have one literally 2 feet to my right now. So how has everyone been doing? Long time no see. As I mentioned, haven't done a live stream in a little while. Lots of stuff has gone on since then. Still been testing the V14 Pro. I just posted a video that my members can see. Speaking of members, I just posted it probably an hour prior to the stream. Let me do this. I should be more prepared, but I'm not. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Share the screen. Entire screen, share, and share like that. All right. I wanted to take a second to thank my channel members. Let me sort by total time, shortest to longest. Okay, current channel members, there's 26 of them right now, so we've lost a few. That's okay. That's what happens. It comes and goes. Leandro Lone, Animated Limb, Spitfire 1337, Mr. Rexy, Timothy Plumley, a member for a year, 12 months. Nice. Brian McCann, Scamster over in Australia. Blue Collar Jose, Philip Arnold, Planet Iceland, DJ White Flower, Babbitt the Wabbit, Electric Unicycle Dale, who happens to be here right now, A Viking, Michelle Bardaly, a member for 49 months. Wow. So she rejoined 15 months ago. So I guess maybe you can pay in advance. Like, can you do like a year in advance or something? I don't know how it really works. That's cool. Me, you see my EUC on air promo, Larry Zarkoff, Medium Dog, Doug Yetman, Ratman Murray, Simonisms, also known as E. Simon or just plain old Simon, Rocky Top, Pitt was here, who I believe is Michael Lenardic, if my memory is correct. Senator Perry, and these last three have all been members for 64 months. Senator Perry, Marty Eaton, and Stuart Ross. Those are my current channel members, and as always, I'm very, very thankful for your support. Totally not necessary, but always appreciated. All right, so how do I come back to the stage? I guess I got to do that. There we go. So let's see, are my comments not refreshing again? Somebody post something, post a comment, anything. Okay, there we go. All right, it is working. So let's see what's been going on since June 11th. Like I said, I've still been riding the V14 Pro. I did purchase and install a lighter spring in the V14 Pro. If there's any significant complaints I had with the wheel as is that the ride was just too stiff for me. I had a progressive spring on there, a 600/950 pound spring, something like that, meaning that initially it's giving 600 pounds of resistance, and then as you compress it more, it's 960 pounds. And I guess that's really good if you're doing like big drops or something, so the wheel doesn't bottom out. But for just normal hard surface riding, it felt too stiff for me. It was doable, but for my preferences, I would prefer it softer. I heard various people say that the 500/600 spring feels a lot better. So I bought one on eBay for $100 and I installed it. Installation wasn't too bad, and the difference is noticeable. It's much more to my liking with the lighter spring. It's still a progressive spring, but it's a 500/600, so it's much softer compared to the stock spring. And today, if any of the members have seen the video yet, like I said, it was just posted. I set up my little shitty ramp that I have that's been sitting in my garage for years, and did a few jumps off of that. It felt totally good. The landing was nice and soft. I didn't bottom out, even though it's a 500/600 spring. So if you're like me and you like a more plush ride, I would recommend going with the lighter spring. It's too bad you can't just pick that option on a new wheel, so you don't have to go through the hassle of installing the spring yourself, but it's all good. And also on the ride today, I wanted to see what the wheel felt like getting over 40 miles an hour, because I had not taken the wheel up to that speed yet. So I did do that. Got out, I think I topped out a little over 42 miles an hour app speed on the wheel, and it felt good. Very similar to my Patent, very stable at speed. It's the V14 Pro and the Patent are comparable wheels for sure. Even though I would say the Patent suspension is more plush. The Patent suspension is probably the best suspension I have, so it's more plush. Look-wise, though, I think the V14 Pro is a better looking wheel. I think the V14 Pro might be the best looking wheel in my collection of wheels, actually. So, I guess I should. I guess I'm rusty here, right? I didn't even say hi to people. Greenmaster Mike is here. What's up? What's up, Mike? Mike, check good. Yes, thank you. Can't hear the printers. That's awesome. Simon is, which suspension do you prefer? Before I didn't see that comment, but I just mentioned it. The Patent suspension is better for me. Keep in mind, my Patent only has a 58-pound spring in it, the lightest spring that you could get in a Patent. I don't think you could even get that spring in the Patent S. That spring was supposedly so light that when I bought it, Jason from eWheels sent me a 66-pound spring, because their assumption was a 58-pound spring would just be too light for American riders. And my riding weight is 190 pounds plus, and I've never had a problem with the Patent suspension. And as I mentioned, it's probably the best suspension of anything that I've ridden or that I own. I would say the P6 suspension feels as good as the Patent suspension, P6 that I demoed. But the V14 with the softer spring is much better, much better. I don't know if anyone noticed, Flip, EUC Chronicles Flip, he just got his V14 Pro as well. He just unboxed it. I saw the video today, so he's going to be giving his opinions on the V14 as well. There's been it seems like Emotion has been trying to garner interest in the V14 series. They've reached out to a number of content creators, and it's not an easy thing to do, because the V14, the original V14, came out 3 years ago, so it's a 3-year-old wheel. they've done iterations. That the first version had the Samsung 50E batteries, the lower output batteries, and then the V14 that was all black. That has the 50S batteries, so it has the higher performance batteries. And then the V14 Pro is very, very similar to the second gen V14. The significant difference is the looks. Obviously, they went with a different color scheme. Suspension is the same. They applied a different firmware that bumped the top speed up from 43 miles an hour to 50 miles an hour, and supposedly unlocked something like 20% more torque, 20 to 25% more torque as well. Now, that being said, I've been told by multiple people that you can actually apply that firmware to the second gen V14s and have that same capability. So, but anyways, as I was saying, Flip's got the V14 Pro. I saw Zach Darnell, Zach, was very heavily involved in the P6 testing. He has a V14 Pro. He did like Zach definitely is not, he doesn't do a lot of wheel reviews. They're very unconventional, I would say. It was like a 5-minute video. And he liked it. He said his girlfriend really likes it. And the V14 Pro is a good wheel, and they do have it on sale right now. I think it's still $26.99, like $200 off. Emotion is still running some good promotions. They also the V9. They're selling it for the lowest price ever, $8.99. That is a crazy good deal in my opinion. So Emotion is definitely trying to move some stock. PJ Wares is here. Guten Abend, PJ. How are you doing? You haven't gotten arrested or anything, have you? Riding your wheel. Dale says, I like the V14. I'd still go the Patent though. Yeah, the Patent S. The Patent S is nice. I need to do like a summary video on the V14 yet. I haven't done that. I've kind of done all the different aspects that I wanted to do. I did a little jumping. I did a little high-speed riding. I did off-road. I did a range test. I did a pre and post shock change video. So I think, and I put, I don't know, 150 miles on it, something like that. So I think I'm probably at the point where I can do my V14 summary video. Just haven't done it yet, but I will. Something else that's been going on the last couple of weeks is I did mention it briefly in one of the videos, is I had a pretty bad knee injury. My right knee, I messed it up through a combination of playing pickleball and going to the gym right after that. I didn't play pickleball for 2 weeks. For a good 5 days, I could hardly walk. I mean, I was walking with a significant limp. It was really, really bad. Luckily, that's gotten better. But that slowed down my riding and everything else. Slowed down my riding, slowed down my pickleball. It's very annoying. Getting old kind of sucks. PJ says, I might have to sell the V10F. Need to generate some revenue since they cut my hours. Oh, that's right. I forgot, PJ. You mentioned that the last live stream. How's that going? I remember you said you were with your company for, God, what'd you say, 30 years, 40 years, forever. And they're basically trying to push you out by cutting your hours. That's shitty, man. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Wow. Unfortunately, a V10F isn't going to generate a whole bunch of income. It'll generate some, but not a whole bunch. Not worth a whole lot of money. Okay. I should have been organized and written some notes, but I didn't. I was kind of busy all day. Did you guys see this posted? I think it was posted today for the first time. I have people saying that it's AI. This. I saw this on one of the Facebook groups, the Pagode M106. The graphic doesn't look like anything that Pagode's ever put out. Definitely, the wheel itself doesn't follow any styling that I've ever seen. And then when you look at the let's see, you look at this. What is this? That definitely looks like an AI generated image, right? And then when you look at the specs of it, it's a 800 or it's an 84 volt wheel, 750 watt hours, but supposedly it'll go 38 miles an hour plus, which isn't. I heard some people comment that that's not realistic for an 84 volt wheel, but that's not true because a V12S, which is an InMotion V12S, which is an 84 volt wheel, can go that speed. It's like 37 top speed. The Begode C8, which is an 84 volt wheel, has a similar top speed of about 37 miles an hour. So the top speed is plausible. The range isn't. 50 plus miles on a 750 watt hour battery. I don't know how anybody could do that. So that's kind of interesting. And then of course, 32 pounds, a 32 pound wheel. I don't know. What else was interesting on here? Oh, and it has suspension supposedly, right? Smart display and ride control. What is that? So it looks like it has a screen that's sort of like the Begode version of an InMotion screen, like on a V12S, like a nice screen, or the P6. I doubt it. I doubt it. The Spectra LED beacon system, ultra bright, 360 degrees of visibility. So I don't know. Has anyone seen this posted today? And does anyone think it's actually true? I don't know. If not, someone went through some effort to make something that looks kind of legitimate, but I really doubt it. And of course, no price. Honeycomb shell. This is where the batteries are in the front. Really? Is that what? It doesn't make any sense. 11-inch street tire. I mean, look at this thing compared to the individual riding it. This looks much bigger than this. I don't know. Probably not accurate. But I didn't know if anyone else saw it or if anyone else heard the definitive answer if this is just bullshit AI or something that Begode is actually working on. My intuition tells me the former. Let's remove that. Mike says Libra Kim always throws out quality NOSFET, following close behind also. Yeah, Libra Kim wheels are always quality wheels, and NOSFET has a lot of Libra Kim technology in them. So yeah, definitely two quality manufacturers. Mike says his OG Nikola could go 40 plus at 84 volts. Really? Really? I thought the 100 volt Nikolas could. The Nikola Plus, I didn't ever hear of the OG Nikola going 40. But yeah, wow. I can't imagine going that fast on a Nikola. And I did own one. I did own a Nikola Plus. So the title of the stream is "The Free Ride is Over." And that has to do with, it seems every few days, there's a new story about this new regulation coming in place, this new crackdown, this person getting busted, that person getting busted. You have Mike Grillo, who's pretty well known in the EUC social media space, who got busted on his P6. He evidently was, riding like he typically does, which is, aggressive, in and out of traffic, fast. And he was caught by the police. And evidently he tried to initially evade the police, which is a really smart thing to do, right? He got caught by the police and got busted. And there was a new. I should have pulled this story up. Let's see if I can find it. He got arrested, and it was like a story on the local news. Let's see if I can find this. And I guess he does like racing and that kind of stuff. Just give me a second. I'm trying to find it. I'm on his channel just to give Mike proper recognition for getting arrested. And he posts a lot. Now there it is. Okay, let's bring the story up. Okay, hold on. Headline: Man arrested in New Hampshire riding a unicycle capable of going 93 miles an hour. That's just what you want to see, right? That's just the kind of headline that we need to keep us under the radar, to keep police from not looking at us, right? Oh my God. Police got a call about someone weaving in and out of traffic. They found him, but they said he did not stop when they tried to question him. And they had to chase him, and then they arrested him. And that's it. That's all the story says. But there's all kinds of commentary on here. I think Mike's initial attitude about it was kind of a little too cavalier, kind of downplaying it, but it really is. I mean, it's a mess. When this kind of stuff happens and it gets traction. I was talking to, when I went to Dunkin' Donuts today, I was talking to one of the guys there that, he knows me because I'm there regularly. I rode my wheel there. And he started asking about the wheel. And he said, "Oh yeah, do you have Instagram or what do you have?" I said, "Well, I have Instagram, but I have more stuff on YouTube." And he says, "Oh yeah, on Instagram, I saw this video of someone riding one of these on a highway, down the middle of the highway." I'm like, "Oh yeah, really? Yeah, that's the new thing. People in Motion P6s riding with traffic because it gets a lot of clicks and views, right? It gets eyeballs." But it also gets eyeballs of the authorities, unfortunately. And it gets eyeballs of the people that are writing the increasingly restrictive laws that deal with PEVs. So, I mean, it's crazy. There was a post that I saw that somebody was stopped. He was riding normally, I guess he said it like bike speed or not fast, and he like waved to the officers. I don't remember. I don't know where this was in the United States, so I don't know where. But they stopped him, and the end result was they took his wheel. They impounded his wheel. And I'm afraid that kind of stuff is going to be more and more prevalent. And if it is, it's going to make this hobby not a lot of fun. Who wants to go out and ride if you have the possibility of getting stopped / arrested, or having your wheel that costs thousands of dollars impounded with the questionable ability to get it back, or at the very least, having to pay significant money to get it out of the impound. So I don't know. I don't know that at this point things have gone so far that there's going to be any way to turn back the clock, where we are allowed to just kind of do our thing. I don't know what you guys think, but I think, unfortunately, we are headed towards that reality. I didn't mention, if you just stopped in or if you've been here since the beginning, please take a second to click that like button. Helps the stream visibility. I don't have Spartacus here to promote me right now, so please click that like button. But yeah, with Grillo, going back to Grillo, he was saying like he did this long post after the incident where he was pushing for more non-road places for EUCs to ride. It was like all of a sudden he was like the champion of more secluded EUC riding or PEV riding. Almost like because there isn't that's what makes him do what he does on the roads, because there's not any other options. So he caught a lot of flack for it, and I think deservedly so. PJ, how's life in the 3D printing world? Making any money on prints yet? Life in the 3D printing world is fine. No, I'm not selling prints. I've rolled that idea around in my head a long time. But pretty much anything that I print outside of the stands that I sell on EUCArmy.com, I just give away. I give away to my girlfriend. I give away to my girlfriend's daughters. I give it away to coworkers at work. I just kind of like making stuff. I don't have any good examples in here right now, but what I'm printing is the Robo Octopus, which is super cool. I can probably show you that. That's the print that takes between 1 day and 2 days to print. Oh, darn it. Hold on. Hold on a second. Let me find it. Okay, hold on. This is reminding me of other things that I haven't talked about that's happened since June 11th. Yeah, here they are. The Robo Octopuses. Turn off. Don't need the sound. Yeah, they're really cool. They have crazy articulation, incredible detail. And it's a print that a lot of people are doing right now in the 3D community, just because it's so awesome. Let me remove that. So let's see what else has been going on since June 11th. I ordered a new Tesla. You guys know that? This is my 5th Tesla. It's another Model Y. It's a Model Y Premium, rear-wheel drive. My current car is a 2024 Model Y Performance. And what I've come to realize is spending the extra money for a performance model is just totally wasted on me at this time, or at this point in my life. I never use the additional power. It doesn't look tremendously different than a regular Model Y, and it costs several $1,000s more. So I'm actually downgrading for the first time. I've never downgraded. This, like I said, this is my 5th Tesla. I went from a 2019 Model 3 rear wheel drive to a 2020 Model Y why can I say that? Rear wheel drive. Then that's when I had that crazy situation where I was able to sell that car to Vroom for more than I paid for it, and I used that profit to turn around and buy a all-wheel drive long-range Model Y. And then that was also a 2020. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 2022. Those are both 2022s. And then I traded that 2 years later for the Model Y Performance, which I currently have. And now another 2 years has passed, and I'm going to be trading the Model Y Performance for the Model Y Juniper. They refreshed this in 2025. They refreshed the Model Y. It has a number of features that I like, and I like that it has more range. This model actually has 357 miles of projected range on a full charge. My Model Y Performance has slightly less than 300 miles of range. So, yep, we're going to be, it's supposed to happen on August 11th. I ordered this probably, let's see, July 3rd, 2 weeks ago. I ordered it, and it wasn't even made at that point. So I'm hoping to have it on July 11th or August 11th. That color is called like slate gray or something like that. So that's happened. I don't know if people probably don't pay close attention to it, but my channel now has over 20,000 subscribers. I have 20,700 subscribers. There's been a big surge in membership. That happens sometimes, but and I didn't actually even do. Usually, like when I hit a big milestone like that, I'll do some sort of video about it. I haven't had the time to really do it. I should do that, because just getting to 10,000 subscribers was a big accomplishment. So now I'm at double that amount. Now in YouTube world, 20,000 subscribers isn't huge, but it's not bad either. There's not a lot of channels that deal with PEVs that have 20,000 subscribers. There's a few, but not a lot. Brady's here. Wheelie Brady. Oh, wait. Why am I sharing that? Don't need to see that. Thanks, man. It is a nice car. Like I said, the Juniper models, they have a bunch of improvements. Obviously, they refreshed the exterior look a little bit. They changed the front end, changed the ass end, has better suspension, a softer suspension that people generally have said is nicer. Has additional ambient lighting inside, which I really like. Has ambient lighting that runs, it's like a line that goes across the door, across the windowsill, the other door. I like that. Has an additional screen for rear seat passengers. Has an 8-inch screen in the back, so people in the back, like if you have kids or something, that they can have fun with the screen in the back. They have individual climate controls in the back. The back seat is fully power. Right now in my 2024, if you hit the button, the back seats will drop forward, but they're manual coming back up. The seats now are full power up and down, and they also have the ability to recline the back seats, which you do not have in the 2024. The seats are both heated and ventilated. The prior generation Tesla seats are only heated, so they're heated and ventilated seats. Let's see, different steering wheels with some additional controls on it. Trying to see what else, or trying to remember what else. But anyways, generally speaking, it was just features that appealed to me, and I was able to do it without impacting my monthly payment. So yeah, I'll be picking that up. Probably by the time you see my next live stream, I will have that vehicle. And hopefully I'm loving it. We'll see. Mike says, I think the manufacturers need to have a little bit of more safety education about riding anything on open roads with traffic, and EC riders need to watch how we help the new riders also. Well, I mean, I've talked about this a million times, Mike, and going back to when I used to really, kind of give a damn more about the image that was being put out there. And my point has always been that when people sensationalize riding dangerously, riding recklessly, riding way too fast, unfortunately, it's human nature. It's monkey see, monkey do, right? Oh, wow, that looks cool. I want to do that too. So when you have that kind of content getting the most traction on social media, it just kind of promotes it. So, so as far as the manufacturers need to have a little bit of more safety education about riding anything on open roads, I'm not sure what you mean about that. What do you mean? Manufacturers should do things to make the wheels not able to ride open roads as fast as they are? I don't know. What do you mean by that, Mike? And then Mike, then you just get you got the Lynx. What'd you get? The Lynx S, right? You got a Lynx S, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly. Dale, that's over 20,000 more than me. Yeah, so Dale, I don't think I'm letting the cat out of the bag, right? Because I think you put this in social media. Those of you that don't know, Dale is planning to potentially move to Mexico for a period of time, which struck me as a surprise. I can't imagine Dale in Mexico. But yeah, I don't know how long. What you think it's going to happen within a couple months, Dale? Because I know you're going to be doing some stuff prior to that. But yeah, Dale's moving to Mexico. Very, very exciting. You know, but that does mean you have to give up your job with the circus. So I don't know if you're sad about that or glad about that, Dale. Steve-O, Duff, did you buy full self-driving? I heard it's gotten really good. Yes and yes. I have the full self-driving subscription. Tesla used to be really dumb about it. Really dumb. Like if you wanted full self-driving, you had to pay an absorbent amount of money up front for it. Like, I mean, it started out being like $5,000. At one point, it was over 10 grand. And it made no sense. Like they wouldn't sell you a subscription. Then when they finally introduced a subscription for full self-driving, it was too much money. It was $199 a month. And a lot of people did not adopt it. With my first car, my Tesla Model 3, I did buy the full self-driving up front, and I think it was around $5,000. And the full self-driving sucked. It was scary at times. It was dangerous at times. It was not good. Fast forward 7 years later, it is great now, Steve. It is great. It is so much better. I've used it. When I went on a road trip to Texas last year, I used it for probably 90% of the drive. It's great. It never gets lost. It sees around you 360 degrees all the time. It's safer than a human. It really is. It reacts like a person would normally react 99% of the time. There once in a while there's a little hiccup here and there, but it's a rarity. Whereas that used to be common. It was almost like an amusement park ride before. You'd be going down the road and there'd be a car crossing the road hundreds of yards 200 yards away from you. They'd be crossing the road and the car would overreact and slam on the brakes. You know, and that happened all the time. Or you'd be doing a turn with multiple lanes, and it would just lose its place, and it would start drifting out of the lane. And there's lots of horror stories out there, but it is way better now, and it's $99 a month. It used to be that I only would pick up the subscription because you can buy it for a month and then just drop it if you want, and then pick it up again later. And that's what I did initially. I just bought it for if I knew I was going on a road trip, I would buy it for that month. But I got to the point where I just liked using it. So I just have that budgeted in as part of my monthly expenses, my Tesla full self-driving. And of course I will enable it with a new car as well. Oh, that's another thing that the new car has. The Juniper Model Ys, they have an additional camera in the front bumper. The prior generation does not have that, so it gives you even better visibility. And not only is there a camera there, but it actually has a built-in washer, a camera washer, because of where it's located. You can get shit on it, so it actually has a washer for the camera, which I guess is kind of cool. But yeah, full self-driving, if you've never experienced it and you have a friend with a Tesla with full self-driving, you should have them just show it to you. Have them turn it on. It's pretty incredible. It really is. And it used to be shitty. It used to be shitty. And now it's way, way, way better. PJ, have you ever caught any flack for owning a Tesla and no one scratched or left nasty notes in your car? No, I've never had that problem. A lot of those problems that you've seen, or when it was really bad, is when Elon was going crazy, and a lot of that happened in California. Where I live in Florida, it's a pretty red area, so yeah, I haven't experienced really Tesla hate down here, which is good. I've heard of people like having their Cybertruck made fun of because it's a really ugly vehicle. And if you paid $100,000 for a first-gen Cybertruck, boy, oh boy, you must feel pretty stupid right about now. Okay, so Dale's hoping to go to Mexico by the end of the year. Okay, so 5 months. August, September, October, November, December. Okay, so you're giving yourself 5 months. That sounds good. So I assume you have some. Well, okay, no, that's. Never mind. I know the answer to that question, Dale. I just answered my own question in my head. Simon says, posting videos of yourself riding like a lunatic on public roads is selfish and cringe attention-seeking behavior. Just makes us all look like toss spots. I don't know what a toss spot is. Maybe that's an Australia thing. But I agree 100%. Nighthawk 951. He's another one that just posts video after video of him doing stupid, asinine things. I've talked about Sir Ronster. Was that the last video? No. Last live stream? I don't know if I talked about that in a live stream. Sir Ronster is that guy that's a Suron rider. He actually sells e-bikes and stuff. And he's famous for riding Surons and that style e-moto in a crazy way. In these huge group rides with and he's in Southern California. Huge group rides with hundreds of people taking up streets, going up on the highway, pulling wheelies right next to active traffic. In some cases, vandalizing property, like getting onto people's yards and just ripping them up. He seems like a nice kid, but in the big picture, he is one of the main reasons that there's such a backlash against that kind of transportation, because he puts on display how bad it can be. He really does. He actually had an incident a couple weeks ago where he was on I don't remember which model bike it was that he had modified, and I guess it was not, the throttle wasn't acting normally. Like, he would not be applying throttle and the bike would be accelerating. And it happened a couple of times. And the second time it happened, he took his hands off the handlebars just to demonstrate that it was accelerating without him doing anything. Well, as he did that, he happened to hit like a pothole in the road, and the handlebars went crazy. He lurched forward. He was like half hanging over the handlebars, and then he went down on his face, got a concussion, horrible road rash. Didn't break anything, luckily, but he was really shaken up by it. He was really shaken up by it. That being said, though, he's back to posting videos of riding fast and doing crazy stuff in traffic. So I don't know if he really learned a lesson or not, but there definitely was a lesson to be learned there. You never you think that the human tendency is to think that these horrible things that you see happen, they happen to other people. They happen to other people. And then lo and behold, it happens to you. And because you aren't really expecting it, bad things can happen. Like Sarancer, like when he rides, he just has a helmet on and sometimes gloves. That's it. So, I mean, he is really underdressed for the kind of riding that he does, but that's the way it is. And the bad thing is there's lots of kids now. Again, they see this stuff on social media, they want to emulate the behavior, and they have kids, young kids doing crazy crap on e-motos. It's crazy. The parents that are buying these for their kids, they really are not doing any sort of research or homework on how potentially dangerous they can be, or monitoring what their kids are doing on them. So Mike does have a Lynx S. What he meant that they need to talk about more, how you ride in traffic. The manufacturers are supposed to talk about that. If you're going to ride in regular traffic, no weaving, never go on a highway, lives are being lost. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that would carry more weight coming from a manufacturer or not, really. People, because that's boring, right? Telling someone to be conservative and do the right thing and to be safe and to be cautious, that's boring, right? That's not going to get you a lot of clicks on social media. It's a catch-22, really. It really is. I've said many times that I don't know how you put the genie back in the bottle. I really don't know that I don't think it's possible. Mike says Dale's going to be my neighbor. Yes, I heard. He did tell me that, because I know you live down there as well, Mike. Yeah, that's you guys are going to have a lot of fun together. I can only imagine. Simon saw that Sarancer crash. He'll keep posting, though, because he's another selfish rider just out for payment money. He's made $2 million from his YouTube channel. Is that true, Simon? Because my impression is that almost every video he posts gets demonetized because someone reports it for unsafe behavior. I mean, he gets a lot of, well, I don't know. I mean, because like I said, he has a business now. So I think he probably makes more money from the business than he does from YouTube. But yeah, like I've commented on a few of his videos, just basically saying that I think you seem like you're a good person. But in the big picture, for the greater good, what you're posting and what you're promoting is bad for the hobby. It's bad for people that are into e-motos. It's bad for PEV riders in general, because they all get lumped together. So I don't know. I don't know if he has any plans to change his ways, but I wish he would. But then it wouldn't get as many views. Okay. So now, as far as wheels go, I don't know that there's any other wheel announcements other than that potentially fake N106 that I mentioned at the beginning of the live stream. You have the Xeno. People have been liking the Xeno. Seems like a nice wheel. Marty seems to like the Xeno. But to me, there's a lot of, I don't know, it seems like there's a little overlap with the NOSFET lineup with the Xeno and the Aeon, sort of. I mean, the Xeno's lighter, right, than the Aeon? Or have that reversed? No, because the Xeno's a 20-inch wheel. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen anything else that really interested me or seemed all that significant, even though I haven't live streamed in a month and a half. What is this? Oh, from Twitch. AI viewers streamboo.com. Well, thanks. Yeah, this is streaming on Twitch and on eucarmy.com. Almost done here. Simon says his business makes money because of his YouTube. Without his YouTube, we have nothing to sell, promote. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. YouTube is the reason that he has that business. But again, it's people that they see these people on social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, getting a lot of views doing this kind of stuff, doing irresponsible, risky acts. They see that and simplistic thinking. Wow, that look at all the views he's getting. Look at all the attention he's getting. I can get that too. All I got to do is similar silly things, dangerous things. And unfortunately, I think it doesn't get much more complicated than that. People just a lot of people don't think deeply. That's been my impression. There's not a lot of deep thinkers around, especially when it comes to that. Mike says with the NOSFET lineup: Arrow small, Aeon medium, Xeno large. Okay. So I wonder. So now that NOSFET has all of these, they have their small, medium, and large wheel. I wonder if they're going to ever go for a high performance wheel or a really long distance wheel. I don't know. I thought in that interview that Sean did with the NOSFET guys, with Jack and whoever the other the co-founder of NOSFET is, that they said that they weren't really looking to do that for whatever reason. So let me go grab another Cayman Jack. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Actually, probably 30 seconds. And one thing I didn't think about with having these prints going is I have the door closed behind me, as you can see, because my girlfriend is here, so I don't want to bother her with my live stream shenanigans. And having two 3D printers in the room makes it quite warm. It is quite warm in here right now. So Cayman Jack is helping me stay cool. These are flavored Cayman Jacks, by the way. This is mango. And my last one was a strawberry. It's a new iteration of the Cayman Jacks. I find them pretty good. Larry, what's up, buddy? Larry says, I think this can be traced back to the Jackass series, as well as dumb shows like Kardashians, Paris Hilton, and whatnot. People being paid to get attention by being stupid. Yeah, I mean, it probably dates back to the beginning of man. I mean, really, people want what other people have. I guess the difference is with social media, its proliferation is just at an insane level. So you are constantly inundated with, look what that person has, look what that person is doing. I want that. I want this, and that human nature, unfortunately, that tends to just make you a lemming, kind of, right? You're kind of being a lemming. Following what you think is going to get you more attention. Sad but true. And all the AI stuff, man. I'm so tired of AI generated YouTube videos. It seems like everyone's using AI to make thumbnails now. They all look the same. You can definitely tell an AI thumbnail. I can tell an AI thumbnail in 3 seconds. I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know. I don't have a great opinion of the world. Oh, and that's something else I can talk about. That's reinforced with my recent trip to Orlando, where I went to 2 Disney parks last week. Man, oh man, talk about, whew, that was rough. It was rough. Mike says the Apex is their performance wheel off the line just as fast as the Lynx S. Yeah, but it seems like no one cares about the Apex, really. I don't think the Apex was a big seller. Steve-O, sometimes I wonder if we're past the peak of EUC. Seems like there are far fewer new wheels. Laws are getting stricter. Alien Rise and Chen trying to destroy the industry. Well, I don't know that you're here, Steve. A while back, I think, Albert was in the live stream, and one of the questions that came up was if InMotion was able to let us know like how fast the market has been growing, and he said based on their numbers, the market has actually plateaued, if not dropped back as far as sales go in the United States. Their sales numbers have actually either flatlined or declined recently in recent years, and that's for probably a number of reasons. Wheels are expensive. Everyone that wants a wheel probably has one. People can buy used wheels, because there are so many wheels out there and you can save a lot of money doing it that way. And the EUC hobby is a niche hobby because it is not an easy thing for someone to pick up. It takes a certain type of person to be willing to go through the grind to learn to ride an EUC. And that person happens to need to have a good chunk of dispensable income because they're not cheap. A cheap EUC, a new cheap EUC is $1,000, right? Whereas $4,000 EUCs are not that uncommon either, which is a large sum of money for most people. Alien Rides, I haven't heard anything lately about Alien Rides in their suit. What's going on there? I don't know. I don't know if anyone else has heard anything. I know they still post on social media sometimes, but whatever they post, they always turn off comments because they know they're going to get eviscerated. They allow people to comment on what they're doing. But it seems like they've kind of pivoted to mostly like e-bikes, right? Or e-motos even. I don't see them pushing a lot with wheels. Let me just check out their site. I haven't looked at their site lately. On their front page, you have a K6. Let's see what they look like for electric unicycles. They still have a decent amount of electric unicycles on their page, although a lot of them are listed as sold out. P6 sold out. You can get a V14 from them. No V12S sold out. Extreme Bull Griffin. Good luck with selling that. They do have the Rocket, but they have stuff marked as sale. See, this isn't even updated on a regular basis. They have stuff marked as being on sale. It's sold out. I would say it looks like 2/3 of what they have listed on this site is shown as being sold out. So who knows what they're doing, but I don't know who would actually buy a wheel from Alien Rides at this point, other than Mike Grillo. I think Mike Grillo is an Alien Rides guy, and John Fernandez is another Alien Rides guy. But I will not be buying anything from Alien Rides ever again. Mike says that's a bit scary, Steve, especially when USA is the biggest market. Yeah, that's true. It is scary. And what Steve said, it could very well be true. The combination of how expensive these things are, um, people having serious accidents and injuries. Um, in addition to the law enforcement, we have more and more people getting hurt. There was that video that posted a couple days ago of a guy going across a crosswalk. There's a truck that ran the red, although the guy in the EUC kind of left before he actually had the green, just anticipating the green. He pulled out there. The guy in the truck came across and hit him, T-boned him. I think he's not horribly hurt, but it looked terrible. The video looked really, really bad. There was a guy up in Lancaster, which is in my neck of the woods where I used to live in Pennsylvania, that lost control of his wheel and went into the opposing lane of traffic and got run over by a tractor trailer, and he died. So yeah, it used to be like a death on an EUC was a very, very remote and rare thing, and now it's just like, oh, another one. It's not that uncommon. Partially because of all the reckless riding that we see. When I was up in, and actually I saw the article about this guy in Lancaster, and the commentary on the article was like, oh yeah, I see these guys all the time. They were riding like maniacs, speeding, going against the traffic. And again, it's because that's the cool thing to do, right? Cool thing to do. And it's funny. There's people that still will say that, well, it doesn't matter. If they say that they're illegal, they're locking down. If a police officer, probably Grillo is one of these people that used to say this. If a police officer tries to stop you, just don't stop. Just don't stop. Act like you didn't hear him. And then you can try to run from them, and then you can get arrested. So again, it's much like anything else. People assume that they're not going to have an issue with law enforcement until they do. Like Marty's very much that way. Like if he doesn't have an issue, then it's not really an issue. And that's I think that's a small-minded way to think about things. Larry says, here in LA, I am seeing fewer riders this summer than summers before. We haven't had any deaths or arrests or anything like that. I just think e-bikes have proliferated and are huge. Yeah. Well, I mean, these e-bikes, potentially, even though they're not legally supposed to go more than 28 miles an hour, Saronster has like he calls it a ghost bike. It looks like a regular e-bike, has pedals, but it can go freaking highway speeds, 50, 60 miles an hour. And e-bikes are easy to learn. If you can ride a regular bike, you can ride an e-bike. So that learning curve is not existent with an e-bike. But in general, it seems like there's less EUC buzz. That's what it seems like. But there's significantly more law enforcement buzz, unfortunately. Dale says, John was having issues with his P6 and said, have you tried taking the alien? Oh, you said, have you tried taking the alien ride sticker off? Oh, that's funny. Did he respond to that? I don't know John Fernandez at all. He kind of seems like he gets on his high horse quite a bit. He's in Northern California. I guess he's around where Alien Rides is in the Bay Area. I know he was making a big stink about the way his P6 motor was behaving. If he lifted it off the ground and reversed directions, he didn't like the noise it was making. When he was riding the wheel, it didn't make that noise. But if he lifted it off the ground and reversed directions, it was making a noise he didn't like. And he went into this big diatribe, and complaining about it, and Albert told him that it's normal behavior, and I guess he complained enough to Next Gen that they got him a new motor, and he put the new motor in, and it doesn't show that behavior, so he's happy now. I don't know that whatever behavior he was having before is actually a problem and actually meant that there was some sort of defect with his wheel, but supposedly the new motor does not do that, so now he's happy. Larry says, seems like everyone is on an e-bike now. They are bigger than scooters, which were everywhere a couple years ago. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, scooters were everywhere, right? Everyone had a scooter. Now everyone has an e-bike. Down here, I mean, it's crazy. To see someone actually pedaling a bike conventionally is a rarity down here. And, when you do a cost to capability formula with an e-bike, it's hard to beat. The bike that I bought for my girlfriend, it was like $600, and it can go 30 miles an hour, and I haven't seen how far it can go. It can go far away. I bet it can go, I don't know, 40, 50 miles. It's a great value. It really is. It's just a matter of if a few bad apples are going to ruin it for everybody else. Hopefully not. Nine Electromatic says, did that going all day, wrong bump, wobble, wrong lane, no car. What? I'm trying to interpret that. Did that going all day, wrong bump, wobble, wrong lane, no car. I give up. You're going to have, maybe that was a voice to text, but I'm not quite sure what that meant. Greenmaster Mike says, I've been talking to people here that know politicians here in Mexico, and it will not be hard to get unicycles fully legal in Mexico on roads, not highways, before any other country. Keep you posted. Oh, yeah? Well, that's good. I know over in Europe, it's mostly banned, right? Or severely restricted with like a top speed of 25 kilometers an hour, which is terribly slow. Terribly slow. Oh, so anyways, it's like I was talking about, I did go to Disney last week. Went to Epcot and Magic Kingdom, and it was kind of a shit show, kind of a shit show. I haven't been to a Disney park in quite a long time. When I first moved to Florida, I thought it'd be awesome to be so close to Disney that I could do it on a regular basis. And the reality has been I've been to Disney maybe, I don't know, 4 times, 5 times in the 25 years that I've been here. And it's always the same reason. The parks themselves are amazing. The detail, the architecture in their various attractions, it's amazing. The logistics, the way that they have their staff trained to funnel and manage and handle the thousands of people that go to their parks every single day. It's amazing. Like someone that admires logistics like me, I spent a lot of my day wondering how they actually had the anticipation and the know-how to do what they do. I saw someone drop some popcorn on the ground, and within 5 minutes, a Disney employee swooped in to clean up the mess. The park is immaculate with all those people. It's still immaculate. It really is. They always have someone from the team there to tell you where to go, how to stand, or where to stand. It's very organized. But the problem is the people. It's not the staff. It's not the park itself. It's dealing with thousands of people. It made me miserable. It was terribly hot and humid in the 90s with high humidity. The rides, they have this this thing called the Lightning Pass. You buy a Lightning Pass. I think it's like $35 extra. It was about $220 for a ticket that was good for 2 days. You buy this Lightning Pass. It was $35 each additional, and what that allowed you to do was on 3 rides, you could go in the Lightning lane, but you could only do it in a certain time period. You had to pick a time period. You had to show up during that time period, and if you show up during that time period, you can skip the standby line that they call it. One ride had a standby line time of 115 minutes. Miserable. So, anyways, you can only do it for 3 rides, and they only offer it on the rides that are not really popular, like the high adrenaline thrill rides. You couldn't use it on those, which was to me it totally defeated the purpose. Like the only ride that we did that I thought that I got good value on the Fast Pass was we did Space Mountain, because that had a wait of over an hour, and we were able to bypass it with that Lightning Pass. But otherwise, it was just my legs were killing me. I have bad knees, and walking everywhere and standing in line, shuffling along for an hour to an hour and a half in line, miserable. And I made the comment to my girlfriend that, when I look around, they always pitch Disney as a magical place. It's magical, right? No one looked like they were having a magical time. Everyone looked miserable. I mean, once in a while you see some kids that look like they were having a good time, but for the most part, it was a shit show. It really was. Didn't make me anxious to revisit that experience anytime soon. But I mean, part of that is me just I never like crowds, and I don't like crowds at a stadium. I don't like crowds at Disney. I don't like crowds. But this is like, I felt like I was testing myself mentally and physically. It was almost like I was completing a half marathon. Like I just had to get through the day. We stayed for the fireworks at Magic Kingdom. Didn't get home until 12:15 a.m. Like trying to get out of there once the fireworks are done. Oh, forget it, man. It's just a sea of humanity, and it's awful. It's awful, man, because you had to all cram on either a tram or a ferry, and then you ride back to a middle staging area, and then you have to cram onto another tram that takes you to the parking area. It took us like almost an hour just to get out of that place. But there's people that say they love it. And of course, everything in the park super expensive. You want food or souvenirs, forget it. I mean, you're going to spend thousands of dollars. I spent a lot of money for 2 days at a park. A lot of money. But on the positive side, I did stay at an Airbnb that was actually nice. That was nice, and that I felt was a good value. PJ says the EUC injury rate is another reason for the decline. 2 dislocated shoulders is enough for me. Yeah, well, that's true, PJ. I've seen consistent people posting like, I'm out. Something happened. I'm out. I hurt myself. I don't want to have that kind of risk in my life, and they leave the hobby. And I don't think electric unicycles are just something that is going to ever have a mass uptake of people coming in. It's great fun. I had a great sense of accomplishment when I learned to ride. But it's not the same. And if I have to worry about law enforcement potentially hassling me while I'm riding my wheel, that's going to really, really put a damper on my enjoyment. Mine Electromagnetic says, I thought you would get The short, simple dip sent me into wrong lane. There was no car or I wouldn't be here. Oh, you had a dip? What? You had a dip on your wheel, and you went into opposing traffic? No. Oh no, I didn't know that. Which wheel were you on? Non-electric Matic says, "Oh no, going to go hear about what heat signature readings from flock condor and drones to identify your battery capacity." What? What are you saying? Law enforcement is going to be able to identify your battery capacity by the heat signature? Are you high, bro? Nah, it's okay, man. It's okay. So, anyways, yeah, Disney, not a great time. I admire the facility. I admire what they do, how they handle what they have to handle, but for someone like me, it just is not ideal. It's a kind of vacation like you come back from that place and you're exhausted and you feel like you need a vacation from your vacation at Disney. Because what we actually did is we went to a park on Monday and Wednesday, and then we had a rest day in between. But during that rest day, we went to a mall, which is just another kind of situation where you are immersed in humanity. You know, you're just not standing in line; you're standing in stores instead. So that wasn't tons of fun either. Okay, so I'm trying to think here. Yeah, the stream is not going to go long because it's hot. It is hot in this room. And I'm racking my brain to try to recall what else I've missed since June 11th to talk about. Let's see. Talk about my new Tesla that's coming. Talked about my 3D printers. Talked about the new shock in my V14 Pro. Blah, 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 blah. I'm using my my Facebook wall as a visual cue here. Let's see, when did I do that? Oh, okay, yeah, that happened since my last live stream as well. The seat that I installed on the InMotion V12S, that third-party seat, from my-euc.com, that's really cool. It actually makes the V12S a viable seated wheel for me, which is great nowadays. Being able to sit is a big thing. I can now sit on the V12S, the InMotion V13, and the Commander GT Pro Plus. Another wheel that I've gotten recently that I haven't really shot much content on. I haven't got to do a whole lot with the thing. I just need to invest more time. But yeah, the seat for the V12S is a game changer for someone like me. I really like it. Adds a handle to the front. It's not cheap. It was about $200. The installation was not bad though. Here's something else. You know, I spent my entire life thinking soccer was stupid, right? I never played soccer, organized soccer as a kid. Anytime that I watched soccer, I would immediately lose interest. I just didn't understand the appeal. There was very low scoring. It just seemed like a very, very boring sport to watch. Well, my girlfriend is into soccer, and she's very into the World Cup. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll be a good supportive partner, and I'll watch some World Cup with her. And I wound up watching a lot of soccer, a lot of World Cup soccer. And through getting some information from her, because there's certain things I didn't understand, like offsides and what makes a penalty kick versus a free kick, and the corner kick strategies and the stuff I just didn't understand. Now I have a better understanding of it, and I also have a better appreciation for just the crazy amount of athleticism that these guys have. And I actually can watch a game where the score is 1-0 and say it was actually an exciting game and a good game. And I watched, I don't know how many World Cup games, probably, God, I bet 10. And found it interesting. Like when we went up to Orlando, the first thing we did was we found a place to watch the World Cup final, the Argentina-Spain game. We went to a sports bar and we watched that. So, yeah, I am now officially more of a soccer fan. After 58 years, I actually find watching soccer not bad. Better late than never, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, did that. Talked about that. Oh, and I actually did get the one printer, the Creator 5 Pro, which I said is 2 feet away from me. I got that since the last live stream as well. That is one of the printers that is cracking away as we speak. I actually have a deposit down on another printer. It's a $20 deposit on a Soval M1D. That's going to go live on Kickstarter soon. I'm not sure if I'm going to fall through on it, but that's another tool changer printer, like a 6 tool changer printer. And if I would get that, I would probably get rid of my Bamboo Lab P2S. And then I would only have one Bamboo Lab printer left, which seems crazy. Mike says, what with that flux capacitor, dude? What do you expect the room to be cool? Yeah. And it's funny. Like I've realized, like in the last year or so, like I have a smart thermostat, and part of having the smart thermostat is every month it sends me an energy report and says, okay, this is how much time your AC is run this month versus the prior year. And I was getting these emails and it was saying like, oh yeah, this year your AC is running, 10 hours more a month, 20 hours more a month, a lot more this year than last year. And I thought at first that there's something wrong with my AC. I'm like, what the hell? What is going on? I had my AC maintenance company come out and check it out and said, no, everything seems fine. Excuse me. And what I actually realized is the difference between this year and last year is I do a lot more 3D printing. When I first moved here, I wasn't really doing any 3D printing, hardly at all. But because the 3D printers throw so much heat, combined with the fact that the thermostat for the house is right outside that door, on the wall there is the thermostat for the house. That is why my AC has been running more, because the heat coming out of this room is making the thermostat think that the whole house is hotter, so it's running the AC more. So what I've started to do is now when I do have longer prints going, I'm closing that door to keep the heat limited to this room, which is a good thing, except when you're trying to live stream in it. It's not a good thing. 9 Electromagnetic Duff. I'd love to learn how to 3D print. Dude, there's never been a better time to get into 3D printing because they have made it so much easier to do. It used to be much, much more involved. You used to have to do a lot of maintenance. You had to fix things on a regular basis. You still do, but not nearly as much. And they make it way, way easier to get into the hobby. You don't need to know that much. You basically can find a model online and say, print it. It's almost that simple. So yeah, if you're thinking about getting into the hobby, it's a good time to do so. Bamboo Lab is makes some great printers. The downside is the way that they print. They use more filament than my FlashForge Creator 5 Pro or my SnapMaker U1, which is called a tool changer printer. That uses much less waste filament. But yeah, I mean, look at a FlashForge Creator 5 Pro. Look at a Bamboo Lab A1. Look at a SnapMaker U1. You know, each one will cost you anywhere between $500 and $900. And the software that you use, again, it's much simpler than it used to be. It was a real hassle, but it's way better now. Dale watched the World Cup final in a bar at 6 a.m. with about 200 Argentinians. Oh yeah, who were you pulling for? I was pulling for Argentina. My girlfriend actually wanted Spain to win because she didn't want Argentina to win 2 World Cups in a row. But even though the score was only 1-0, Spain really dominated that game. They really did. They had Argentina scrambling on defense the entire time. Yeah, Australia was in the World Cup, right, Dale? Yeah, Australia was in there. United States looked pretty good until they ran into some actual quality teams, like Belgium kind of embarrassed them. That was a pretty ugly game. Yeah, it's weird that the United States men's World Cup teams have never done that well, but the United States women's World Cup team has won twice. It's weird that women's soccer is so much far in advance of men's soccer in the United States. My UC journey is here. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Welcome. The stream is probably in its tail end here. As I mentioned earlier, my girlfriend is here, just hanging out. I am off tomorrow, so that's another reason that I'm streaming today. I didn't feel bad about streaming on a Sunday night. I was off all last week, and I'm off tomorrow, so it's been a nice extended non-work period. I always enjoy those. Okay. Just reviewing again. Looking for what happened since June 11th. I took the V14 Pro to the swamp, and then the swamp was closed. That was kind of a bummer. So I took it to another place, which wasn't nearly as visually exciting as the swamp, but it was okay. Hold on 1 second. Wow, I had 9 likes on the stream. If you have a second, take a second and click that like button. Help the stream out. I appreciate that. Mark T3. Have you ever been to Bentonville? We went for AMP last year and then just got back from a vacation there. They embrace one wheels and ECs. No, the first year they had AMP, they invited me to go there. I'm sure they would welcome me there if I went, but no, I never gone to AMP. I am aware of what goes on there, and yeah, it seems pretty cool. It seems pretty cool. But like the whole I don't know, like the whole competitive EUC racing scene, it's and maybe this is just me thinking it, but like it doesn't interest me. Like there's people like Zen Lee that seem to think that because he races and he enjoys it so much, that means that it's a viable thing that people would want to spectate. And to me, it just is not that interesting to watch. I think it's a lot of fun for people that compete in racing and they have an interest in it. But if you don't, I don't really see the appeal. because Amped is mostly off-road racing, right? And they have one wheels there as well. Hey, George is here. What's up, George? You still got your one wheel? It looks like you do based on your picture. Speaking of one wheel, I haven't ridden my GT in 2026. I really need to do something about that. Maybe can I do it tomorrow? Maybe I can do it tomorrow. Let's see. What am I doing tomorrow? A couple things I got to do. Not much. Yeah, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Dale, stickers and your new action camera just arrived. Yeah, again, if you don't know, Dale has been gearing up. Dale's gearing up to become a famous, or not a famous, but a well-equipped content creator. And don't forget to send me some stickers, Dale. I'll stick them on my helmet. I promise. I'll put them somewhere prominent. Larry rode his GT around the other day. It was fun. I missed it. Yeah. And I bet when I get back in my GT, I'll feel much the same way. Like, why haven't I been doing this more? Because it really, I mean, it's a different, riding at one wheel is just it's a different experience from an AUC, significantly different. Wary Morel over on Twitch. Hi, buddy. Hi, Wary Morel. How you doing? Nice streaming. Thank you, Wary Morel. If you don't mind, add me up on Discord. Sorry, Wary Morel. I don't think I'll be doing that. George still has it. Just use it for get around for disc golf. Not much of group rides. Well, you still have your e-bikes, right, George? I know you had at least one e-bike, if not more than one. Larry did 25 miles in the C8 today. Yeah, that's a pretty good ride. The ride I did today was only like 15 miles. Legs feel it. It was much easier to do distance in the patent links. Seems I didn't have to push as hard or something. Oh, really? Huh. Yeah, interesting. I don't know. I've never ridden a C8, so I couldn't really tell you why that would be. That's interesting. Did anyone here see my jumping on the V14 Pro? I used my ramp that I bought on Amazon. I bought that for the S22 actually, thinking I was going to have fun jumping the S22, and then I never used it for the S22. And I think I might have used that thing once at the old house, even maybe. I don't think I ever used it here, so I set it up in the back in my backyard where I have very little space, so I didn't have a lot of room to get up to speed, but I made it work, and I didn't fall, so I call that a win. Oh, George, you sold the e-bike too? Might get another one. Nothing fast. Those days are over. Yeah. You don't need something fast, really, right? At least I don't. I watched a video where polo players were on EUCs. Oh, those were the kids, right? Yeah, someone posted that to my wall. So my uncle? I think my uncle did. Let me see. Yeah, my uncle posted that there. Well, no, they weren't playing polo. They were. I can show you this, I guess. They were. These are young kids shooting bows and arrows while riding wheels. Interesting, right? But I have seen people playing polo on EUCs as well. I think they did that in New York City. It's a popular game with rich kids. Yeah, makes sense. Mine Electromatic. I thought about buying a place in the Villages, but heard it's really freaky. Would they accept the P6? Oh, the Villages in Florida. It's like I think it's the largest retirement community around. I know that they are huge into pick and ball at the Villages. Huge. They have literally more than 100 courts, I believe. Yeah, I've heard positive and negative things about the Villages. How they would accept the P6, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. But I've heard like it's kind of like a cult almost in the Villages. But it's huge, and for the most part, people seem to love it. I mean, I think Villages is a 55 and over community, so I could technically live there. Simon saw me jumping. Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, man. Jumping my ass off. But I was kind of worried. Like that was the one thing I didn't know with the softer spring, the 500, 600 spring, if I'd be okay jumping, like if it would bottom out. And it was good. I mean, it caught me really well. I would say doing that part, like that kind of activity, like doing a jump and a hard landing, that feels similar to a pattern to me. As far as absorbing bumps on the road, like bumps that go up, like speed bumps, the pattern feels better doing that than the V14. George played polo when I had my EUC. A few of us were invited. You did? Really, George? Wow. I don't think I would have the balance ability to play polo very well. I think I would fall a lot. Dale says there's a polo video too. King Song posted. Yeah, I've seen it though. I've seen people playing polo on EUCs. It does not interest me, for sure. But you just sent me you just sent me a link, Dale? Why don't I see it? I see it on my phone. I don't see it on my PC. Interesting. It's probably the King Song polo. Oh, there it is. Let's see if it actually works. Here we go. Oh, look at these kids go. Oh, are they all on 16Xs? Oh, wow. I have not seen this one. Oh, my God. Wow. They have crazy skills. That's cool. That's way better than I could do, for sure. Mike says, what kind of beers you drinking, buddy? They look crispy cold. It's not beer at all. It's a Cayman Jack margarita. It's been my drink of choice, although I do drink other things. Cayman Jack. Ever since I moved here to this new house, Cayman Jack has become the alcohol that I consume the most, for sure. Cliff says kids that grow up in them have crazy skills. Yeah, I can only imagine like if electric unicycles were a thing when I was a kid. Yeah, because when you're a kid, you just learn things easily. You pick things up easily. It comes naturally. So yeah, it would be a different world for sure. Yeah. To be 13 again, it would be an amazing thing. All right, what time are we got here? 10:12. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap it. I'm gonna wrap it here. I'm sweating, and I didn't prepare enough to have a long list of subjects to talk about. So I think I'm gonna call it here, and hopefully I will be streaming again, not in a month and a half, shorter than that. But we'll see how things go. I never know which way things are going to take me, but we will do the best that we can. I appreciate everyone that stopped in tonight. That's all I have for now. Until next time, Duffman out. Peace.